the world's most advanced cold wallet for the new generation of cryptocurrency lovers.
So if you are interested in buying this decent wallet, you can find a link in the description down below where you will get a 20% discount. Thank you very much, and let's dig in the video. What's up, XRP family? Thank you guys for joining the video for today. So yesterday, briefly, I talked about taking profits, guys. Now listen, I'm not saying that the market is gonna go down. That's not what I meant. I'm talking, guys, about what are you gonna do if the market went down? Do you have enough funds? Because listen, guys, the most wealth is made when there is a bear market. Okay, when the prices are down, that's when the wealth is made. Now it's time to slowly take profits because the market is eventually going up and up and up. That's when you take profits. That's not when you invest more. You have to pick your points, guys. You have to be very smart about this because when everyone thinks it will go up, that's not what's going to happen. So again, have an exit strategy, guys. It's very important, and I will keep telling you guys this because it's very, very crucial to actually make long-term wealth. So let's dig in. We have a very, very important message here from Charles Hoskinson. It's very important, guys. Let's check this video. It's a bit long, but really bear with me because it's very, very important. It's on regulatory update, and we may have regulatory clarity coming very, very fast, sooner than you think. Let's take a look.
Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny, sometimes Colorado. So today is November 18th. It's a few days after I made my regulatory video on the 16th. And true to form, the little bill has been announced. So let me share my screen real quickly, and I will show you guys a little bit on the bill. So Jerry Brito just tweeted. Right up here, he says, some good news. A comprehensive bipartisan bill has just been introduced in the House to fix everything wrong with the infrastructure bill's crypto tax provision, including the unconstitutional as 6050I individual reporting mandate. Okay, so this bill is HR 6006. And these are the people who've introduced it through the Ways and Means Committee. So it says, first, it would replace the overly broad definition of broker was one that is reasonably limited to exchanges that buy and sell crypto for customers. Second, it would limit the new requirement that brokers report mere transfers of cryptocurrency by making sure they only report information that voluntarily provided by customers and held for legitimate business purposes can be shared as, quote, third-party doctrine requires. And then third, it strikes the expanded reporting requirement for digital assets and instead requires a study of the effects of such an expansion made in consultation with the digital asset industry and organizations focused on individual privacy and civil liberties. So it's not too big of a bill. Highly recommend taking a look at it. It has a pretty good shot of passing if we as a community come together and remind our Congress critters and senators that we want it to pass. There is bipartisan support for it. So I think that if it passes the Senate and Congress, pretty good chance that Biden will sign it. So hopefully this bill can get. From our end, we're going to begin lobbying very aggressively, and we're going to see what we can do with the industry to lobby aggressively. I'll be having calls this afternoon with various people, and we'll be scaling up some of our expenditures in that respect. And I may go to D.C. in a bit to show my sign of support because this is the most urgent issue that needs to get resolved with respect to the regulatory structure. Now, as I mentioned, there are two bills. There's the little bill and the big bill. I think the big bill's more than 70 pages, and the big bill is not yet announced, but it's been foreshadowed a little bit. I think there was a tweet from Senator Lummis on this, but the big bill basically covers regulatory clarity in the United States for all cryptocurrencies. So it takes a step back from the CFTC and the SEC and the Treasury Department and creates special provisions, clarifications, and even attempts to create an SRO for cryptocurrencies.
Did you hear that, guys? It's literally a bill that will clear all the regulation for all crypto digital assets. It's exactly what Ripple actually proposed to do to get that collaboration between government and cryptocurrency firms or institutions. Now, this is exactly what's coming. Can you see, guys? And it's very, very near. This is what he's talking about here, that this bill is foreshadowed. It's not official yet, but it's coming. So I just wanted to point out that to your attention, guys, because it's very, very crucial. Interesting, the countdown is right after Mr. Pool's. I'm sure it's just coincidence. Now, Mr. Pool had a countdown, as we all know. Does it have to do with Flare? I don't know, guys, because Flare is launching DeLorean NFTs, I think, in 24 hours. Let's take a look. The countdown has begun. Flare is actually launching in 22 hours or so. The path forward begins with major benefits for DeLorean NFT holders. This includes right-hand NFT drop and access to the ongoing Foreverland's SIS sale. Like and retweet, you can get a chance to win. So here you can see 22 hours. Very, very interesting. So I think, guys, actually the countdown is for Flare, but we don't know. Let's see. Here we have Hillary Clinton. Bitcoin threatens US dollar as reserve currency. Let's take a look what she's saying, guys. Very interesting.
And then one more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency. Because what looks like a very interesting and somewhat exotic effort to literally mine new coins in order to trade with them has the potential for undermining currencies, for undermining the role of the dollar as the reserve currency, for destabilizing nations, perhaps starting with small ones, but going much larger. So when we think about this new environment in which we find ourselves that we've been discussing for the last some minutes, we can't just think about nation states. And then one more area that I hope nation states start paying great.
Now, guys, they are very, very threatened by Bitcoin because it is giving them goosebumps, okay, at this moment. It's really rising. It's insane what it's doing, and there is some interesting theories going around. Now, actually, they should not be that threatened by Bitcoin because it's not efficient enough, guys, to actually threaten the US dollar at the moment. But XRP is a very different thing. It's actually working together. Can you see, guys, how this fits together? That Bitcoin cannot overthrow all of the bankers and all of the world leaders. It's just impossible, guys. That's why Bitcoin will not succeed, but XRP will. Let's take a look at Sailor, which is a Bitcoin maxi. Let's take a look what he's saying. He has a very interesting theory. Currencies around the globe go to zero. The world becomes dollarized. BTC 100x's. Does this seem realistic to you?
Number do you think is realistic in the future? And I don't know whether people should never try to do a target and a time for when you hit the target because you can't get both right. But what you think it's worth $1 million a coin someday, Michael?
The big idea is every currency in the world collapses into the US dollar stable coin, and the US dollar is the universal medium of exchange for the world. And people seeking a long-dated store of value asset, a synthetic asset, they start to demonetize that second investment property, and they demonetize gold, and they demonetize an equity index. So what do I expect? I expect that Bitcoin, if it doubles every year at the end of the decade, it will flip gold, and then it'll flip monetary indexes, a little bit of bonds, a little bit of real estate, a little bit of equity, and emerges as $100 trillion asset class. So 100x where it is right now. And when we get there, it'll be 5 to 7% of the worldwide economy. The US dollar will probably replace 150 currencies. Maybe there'll only be 2 or 3 left. There might be the euro, the CNY, the dollar. Everything else is probably going to disappear. And then Bitcoin will be the world's monetary index. If you simply want to keep your money and you don't want to express a credit sentiment or an equity sentiment or some property or real estate sentiment.
And what if a country decides either, China, I don't know how China is going to react to that scenario, or even the United States. Is it unstoppable? Or getting to that point you just described, does it depend on what happens with very powerful central governments?
I think Bitcoin is unstoppable as digital property. I think what you're going to see is three classes of countries. The communist countries that don't give you property rights won't, like North Korea or Cuba, won't let you own anything. They'll probably ban it. The countries that have weak currencies will have capital controls. They will let you own it, but they don't want you to exchange it or trade it. It's not illegal to own Bitcoin in China. They just don't want you moving billions of dollars out of their economy. You see a collapse of currencies like Argentina, the peso is 200 to 1. In Turkey, you see the lira is 11. It used to be 1.5 15 years ago. So the weak currencies will have capital controls. They'll let you own it as property. And of course, in the Western nations where they have strong currencies in the US dollar, of course, it's going to be deemed property. You'll pay capital gains tax on it when you sell it. And otherwise, it's pretty clear it crossed the chasm. It's universally acknowledged as common digital property. And it's the only crypto asset that has that standing. That's what makes it the institutional safe haven asset.
I think he's a bit delusional, guys, because just imagine. So he's actually imagining that the USD will stay the same value and actually overthrow all of the other currencies. Well, think about this. If Bitcoin rises, that means only that the inflation is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think inflation is a very big problem. I think that the dollar will actually be nothing worth, guys, in a couple of years, because it's just nothing. It's paper and it's getting printed like crazy. So how can something like that replace all of the currencies? I think it's very unlikely. I think XRP is solving this problem. I think XRP will give what he is saying that Bitcoin will give. I think XRP is the one that will give that. In July, Gary Gensler met with the head of the UK's FCA and also met with FINMA. I wonder if crypto and XRP was discussed because both entities recognize and or have declared XRP as an insecurity. Now this is just so weird, guys. Of course they would have to discuss something like this. And UK's central bank is using Ripple as a technology to actually make a CBDC. And they met with Gary Gensler. Is it not obvious that this is already solved behind the curtains, guys? ISO 222 is coming. How banks can prepare for the new payments messaging standard. Now, this is not something that will come tomorrow, guys, or in a couple of months. This is something, here you can see. However, as with a move any new standard, there is no guarantee the transition will be smooth sailing. Yes, the migration deadline is estimated to be 2025, but the Bank of England's deadline for banks and financial institutions to send and receive ISO payment messages is June 2022. Guys, that's a matter of months away, okay? And that's crazy. If by June 2022 this is done, remember, XRP is going to be valued very, very much. What is going on with the SEC Ripple lawsuit? Attorney Jeremy Hogan. Is settlement in the works? The SEC first Ripple has gone silent, which has led some within the XRP community to speculate as possible settlement was in the works. This would not be the first time that such suspicions are raised. In late July, Attorney Jeremy identified a number of strange things culminating in the silence of Ripple after the scheduled deposition of William Hinman. His view at the time was that a settlement was likely taking place. The court has ordered both parties to hand over several documents. What are the news in SEC versus Ripple? Judge Nedburn has ordered Ripple to deliver recordings of its meetings. So here you can see, guys, why does it has gone silent. I am certain that each side in this case have listed numerous experts and they will be explaining all the technical aspects of the case of the judge, and we can expect each deposition to last all day, and each expert must prepare a report or his or her opinion, and I wouldn't be surprised if there are 10 to 15 experts in total on this case. So when adding it all together, that's a lot of work going on right now in the case behind the scenes. Yes, normally this is the case. But what is really the case, guys? What is really being said behind the curtains? So markets are slightly up today. OSBC Bank, most setting up crypto exchange CEO. So you can see that Southeast Asia is really preparing, guys, for this huge crypto adoption, and they're doing really, really well. At the end of last year, Singapore-based OCBC had 121 billion in assets under management, making it second largest bank in Southeast Asia. They are not standing still. Here we have, when considering an investment opportunity, be cautious if you spot any of these red flags. Look at this, guys. Gary Gensler is again pretending to actually protect investors while he is actually neglecting 60,000 investors that are being hurt today. Where are you, Gary Gensler? And what are you doing? Thank you guys for watching this video. See you in the next one.